What's going on, Jeff fans? As always, I'm Pat. This is Ray, and look, I'm not giving this game back by any stretch of the imagination, but this team is supposed to be trying to go to the playoffs for the first time in 12 years, and this is not how you do it. I don't know about you, Ray, but like this isn't sustainable. You can't wait till there's 24 seconds left in the game for Zach to finally like throw the team on his back and decide, hey, I'm going to start making some big time throws and get us to tie the game. This is not the way that you're supposed to win football games. We had the better team. We have the better team from a roster standpoint, I think, top to bottom. And we should have won this game handedly. I understand the situation of losing two centers and having to go to a practice squad center. But
he's not even a center.
He's not a center? I thought he played a little bit in the preseason as a center.
He's a guard.
Whatever. The point the point is we need Tippmann back. But look, this is you almost lost to a team with a quarterback who doesn't throw the ball. We held them, I think, to -9 passing yards for the whole game, and we almost lost the freaking game. I can't.
Well, when you look at it, we'll go over the positives and the negatives. Here are the positives.
Okay.
The Jets made a lot of mental errors on defense. Quincy Williams, 2 personal fouls. Jermaine Johnson in the red zone, which went up, instead of giving up a field goal, which the Giants kicker couldn't kick all day, we give up 7 on that drive. There were a lot of mental errors, but besides the mental errors, the defense pitched nearly a shutout.
Yep.
They gave up 10 points total, but remember, we fumbled the ball early on. They really only gave up 7 points the whole game. The more concerning thing for me is through 3 quarters, the Giants came out and told everybody, we are not throwing the ball. 0 chance. And we still give up over 200 yards rushing. That's an issue for me. Besides that, while Tyrod Taylor was in the game, a positive was look at what the secondary did. You had guys like Jalen, Hyatt chirping what he's going to do. Sauce and those guys locked it down back there. Then we can go on to the other side of the ball. The only positive I take away is that we didn't turn the ball over. And that Breece Hall, when given space, is still the home run hitter that we all know that he was.
Well, hold on. We turned the ball over. We turned the ball over twice.
Yes, you're right.
The second time was sketchy because that was literally the first snap that we were taking with the new center. So
that's what's hard. I mean, that guy's never snapped with Wilson before.
Right.
But when you're talking about this offense, it's just everything that could go wrong felt like it was going wrong. We had a positive play. There was a penalty holding us back. It's just so Jets, and for us to come out with the victory, there's no excuses in football. A win is a win is a win.
Right.
You move on to the next week.
Look, all right. So Zach Wilson, what was he? 17 for 30.
Under 50%.
Right, 47%. So he's 17 of 36, 240 yards and a touchdown. That nice play to Breece.
100 of those last yards came in the final 5 plays on offense. You had the 2 that
insane.
Was the drive, and then overtime.
Let's talk about that last drive. So there's 24 seconds left. The Giants just miss a field goal. Thanks a lot, Graham Gano, for screwing up my fantasy.
$9 million dead cap hit after this year if they decide to get rid of him.
Did you see
the yips?
Did you see the play? McDonald jumped over the long snapper and probably got in Gano's face, and that's probably what caused the miss. But so we got 24 seconds to go, and we hit a laser down to Garrett Wilson in the middle of the field. Thank you, Kayvon, for jumping off sides and stopping the clock at 17 seconds.
Whole game right
if he doesn't do that, you got to get down.
Runs.
Right, and you have 9 seconds instead of 17 seconds probably, and you're playing. There's only 1 play left.
Yeah,
right.
You're launching it as far as you can.
Right, and you don't get the chance to spike the ball after the Lazard catch. And again, Lazard, you take 1 or 2 more steps forward, and there's not enough time to spike the ball. So
I know, and
it's
one
just
thing
wild. Garrett
one
Wilson
thing-
also 7 receptions, 100 yards. I thought the
Mhm.
bank was closed. Guess not. Deontay Banks can,
No.
he can
Just like in
go
college where
scratch.
Garrett Wilson burnt him and they won. I think they scored
Exactly.
73-14. But one thing that annoyed the hell out of me after the game, Boomer Esiason tweets out, the Jet fan Boomer Esiason tweets out, on that final play, it never should have happened. The Jets aligned the ball. If you look, the referee bends over right at the ball. All the referee has to do is graze the ball if the Jets spot in the right place. So
Wait.
that
What?
play was supposed to happen.
Say
They're
that
talking
again?
about they're talking about the spike.
Okay.
On the spike play, the Jets offense ran down the field,
Mhm.
spotted the ball. The rule is the official has to place the ball or touch the ball to make it in play after every single play. You can't just put it yourself.
Obviously, yeah.
So there were some Giant fans, and Boomer Esiason tweeted out that play should have never happened, the spike, because the Jets center puts the ball down, and you see the ref come running over and bend over, and it looks like he didn't even touch the ball. The Jets hike the ball, boom, spike it, 1 second left on the clock. If the ref didn't touch the ball, that ball is not legally in play, and therefore the game would have been over. So there's that whole controversy. Sean Morash, I blocked him on every single Twitter account. I can't stand that guy. He's talking about somebody who celebrated Aaron Rodgers getting injured.
I don't know how he has a
know,
job.
it's-
He's a Giants homer. He's just looking for clicks. He gets his little segment on Tiki and Evan, and he's a loser. He's a
brutal.
complete loser.
How about this? How about this stat? Doesn't it feel like the Giants had way more than 4 sacks on the day?
Yeah, it
I'm
does.
looking at it right now. It says
It does.
both teams had 4 sacks. I'm like, I feel like Thibodeau by himself had 4 sacks. Let's talk about that.
Thibodeau was
That-
eating Max Mitchell
Right.
alive. He did
Mekhi
better on Max Mitchell.
Becton.
Yeah,
Mekhi Becton, he ate alive.
yeah.
And that's one of the conversations that we've been having on JetCast, which if you haven't checked it out, we do live spaces every Wednesday. It's a lot of fun. We have a San Diego reporter this Wednesday. If you want to check it out, it's on X, formerly of Twitter, whatever. But we were talking about, who do you franchise? Bryce Huff, Mekhi Becton, or a lot of Jet fans, Mekhi Becton. I'm like, to me, he's serviceable right now. He is an average left tackle.
Mhm.
Those days of him being dominant, I haven't seen it. And I haven't seen it coming back.
Well, he's better in the
That's-
run game than he is in the pass game. He's always been
Well,
better
of
in the run
course.
game. Yeah.
Of course. But that's one thing that we can talk about going into next week. Next week, look at the pass rushers we're going to have to face between Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you can just hope that Tippmann comes back. So Connor McGovern, they wouldn't even show the replay on TV. I guess it was that brutal of an injury. He said something with his kneecap. And then Wes, who came in, he limped into the locker room. There's no word on him. I'm sure we'll find out later in the week. Al Woods tears his Achilles, so now that's 3.
What happened with Gibson? Is Gibson back?
Yeah.
He got hurt, remember?
No, he came back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to, it's hard keeping track. The Giants lost a ton of guys too.
Yeah,
And
I
this
mean,
is one
Tyrod
thing
went to
that
the hospital. Tyrod
Right,
went to Hackensack Medical Center.
We talked about, and I'm not saying Tyrod's, part of that, but you I don't know if you saw it with the rain. The turf looked brutal.
This
Brutal.
new turf is horrendous. It's horrendous. I don't know why they do. Look, they have to change to grass for the upcoming World Cup. Like, leave it.
It's very expensive to maintain. I think that's what it is. And you're asking people who don't like spending money to spend extra money. I believe in Pittsburgh they have a grass field, so there's no reason not to have it here.
No, you can say you have like double wear and tear because you have both teams, but they used to do it. The Giant Stadium, for a while there, it had grass, so
Right.
it's doable. And if you're gonna have a situation where you have to change, like, just leave it. I don't understand why you're doing extra work to put it like on top of the turf or something like that. It just makes no sense to me, to be completely honest with you.
And one thing they're gonna, I like how Salah after the game pretty much took responsibility.
Yeah.
He said everybody's got to be better. And one thing he did say, I want to get the direct
This
quote.
team consistently comes out flat after the bye, and it's not just a solid thing. This goes back years. So it's not just this current coaching staff. For some reason, this team just never comes out of the bye ready to play.
Well, how about Jason Pinnock chirping before the game?
Oh,
Jeez, but here's what Salah said. It's
What?
not good. He said, in regard to the Jets' third down efficiency, it's not good. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Lack of execution from the player standpoint. Can we be better as play callers? Which, for me, when he says, can we be better as play callers, that is a direct shot at Hackett, because
yeah.
time and time again, this is what I don't understand. You have 2 weeks to prepare for this. You know the Giants blitz the most in the entire NFL. Where are the screenplays? The screenplay to a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
They tried it, like by the time they started trying it, it was too late. The Giants did what the Patriots did for us. I guarantee you that's the game plan that they watch. They loaded the hell out of the box and they dared Zach Wilson to throw it to the outside. Lazard can't be dropping balls. Garrett Wilson had a day. He seemed like he was going to ball out right from the beginning, but this team is missing something. I don't understand. If you're going to be playing 13 personnel, you got to get your tight ends involved. The 1 or 2 times they did, like the play to Uzama. Uzama makes this guy miss. It's 15, 17-yard gain down the field, because now when we go big, they're forced to go big. So you have one-on-one on the outside with Garrett Wilson. And they pointed it out during the broadcast, I believe it was Ryan, who said every time there's a single high safety, pre-snap, Zach Wilson hikes the ball, stares the safety down, and then goes to his one-on-one coverage with Wilson, which I liked. He did it. It didn't work out,
Right.
but I'm willing to always take that one-on-one that Garrett Wilson's. It's either going to be incomplete. There's only a couple things that can happen. Interception is the worst, but incompletion is not the worst thing. A completion is not the worst thing, and you could also get pass interference. So that I'm willing to take those gambles, and I feel like if we were doing that more often and taking those shots down the field, it would open this offense. We saw it against the Eagles and against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
When they started throwing the ball to the outside, it opened up the run game, because the Giants were throwing everything up the middle. It was everybody watch Breece Hall. Do not let Breece Hall beat us. I felt like that was the entire game plan.
Well, we were never able to get the run game going at all. I mean,
how would you?
Exactly. You're going up against a defensive line that has some monsters on it, and you're on your third center, right? And they were
Third
never
center,
able to.
Second guard, third
Right.
third tackle, whatever it is.
Right. So much for getting healthy in the bye. That goes out the window. So I don't know who they can possibly.
Come back.
I hope so. I mean, that's
they
your
didn't
only
IR
option.
him, so you got to expect that they have some sort of timeline that they're on, because if they IR'd him, he'd be eligible to come off. Not this game, I believe for the following game. I got to double check that, but if it was the following game, they would have put him on the IR because it opens up a roster spot, and they didn't do that because I assume that they presume that he's going to be coming back either this week or next week.
Right. Well, I mean, at least we have an extra day before the Chargers game, right? It's a Monday night, so the best teams are the healthy teams. To be completely honest with you, that's how I sometimes see football. Is that if you need to have the right guys healthy at the right time.
What are we, the 8th seed right now?
Shockingly enough, so yeah, I think the AFC is going to be real tight. And at 4-3, again, I'm not going to apologize for a win, but we're 4-3. We're right in the middle of it.
And we have the trade deadline Tuesday. We know
Right.
One thing nobody's talking about. Carl Lawson was a healthy scratch today. The Jets are desperately trying to move him. And let's talk about the Dalvin Cook comments. How about him coming out and saying trade rumors aren't necessarily the worst thing? He wants out. He's upset with his role, but here's the issue. you heard Salah during his press conference during the week. Izzy still doesn't know the protections on offense. He
Right.
still hasn't grasped it yet.
Right.
So Michael Carter's the only third down back that can block.
Yeah, Cook's
If
not
you
going
get rid
anywhere.
of Dalvin Cook,
Yeah, they're not gonna.
you know,
Yeah, they need a body. They need a body who can understand protections and keep Zach upright.
Yep.
When a blitz comes in. So I don't think Dalvin Cook's going anywhere.
I agree
And
with you.
he's a decent. You say what you want, but he's still a decent back that can take give Brees a breather when needed.
Imagine we didn't have him. What we'd be coming into the season.
Oh
with right
God! Like you'd be Michael Carter taking that workload, and
And I feel like every week he's got some critical drop or mistake that he's been making, which sucks because his rookie year, I think you'll agree with me on this. We all thought we had something special. He was a special back his rookie year.
Yeah.
He never went down first contact, and maybe that's because we came off of Le'Veon Bell, who was just the laziest back. He got paid. He could care less about playing the actual running back position.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Frank Gore, those types of players. But it really sucks. And I'm excited to see a guy like Izzy on the field. The guy is a burner. He's another guy that could take it to the house. So it'll be interesting to see. The Chargers are going to be an absolute handful. I'm watching them carve up the Bears right now. They have that short passing. But one thing that the Chargers do very well, which has killed us over the years and will kill a cover 3 coverage like ours, they love that quick passing game, and they are huge. They got tight ends that are 6'8", wide receivers that are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". They are a big team. They like to play big, and they like to bully.
These next few games we're going to really learn who the Jets are. Like, the Giants gave the Bills a run for their money, right? So is this game more so that the Giants defense is really that legit, or is it that our offense is not capable? I think it's probably a mix of both.
A little bit.
I know. I mean, can we please have a game where it's not pouring?
Well, every time it feels like it rains, Zach plays awful. Let's be real.
Well,
the Jacksonville game last
look at the
year?
drops. The drops are all over the place when
Remember
it's
the
raining.
Jacksonville game last year? I was there. It was raining. It was hail, and Zach played god awful.
Yeah.
I'm just, hopefully I'm chalking that up to the weather, but this is not the team you want to play if you're not a good weather quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, I still have to, for all of Zach's faults, he's playing behind a makeshift offensive line. He's not bailing out of the pocket prematurely like we saw in his first 2 years.
And
right?
I think
when he does bail, it's a legitimate like today Dexter Lawrence is in his face or Thibodeau's coming around the edge and he's got to bail. But in the times where in the times where the protection did hold, he stood in the pocket and delivered the ball, accurately. I think we had 4 drops, I think, today. So
I felt like everyone was Lazard.
yeah, but with
and I think us missing Cobb was a lot bigger than people think. He's a safety blanket for Wilson.
Yeah. But 24 seconds left to go, and he put his big boy pants on, and Zach Wilson won the game for us today. I don't think I'm too crazy in saying that, right?
At least the end of the game.
Yeah. And, chucking that ball up to Malik Taylor, it was an underthrown ball, but, is he doing that because he can sense that he's going to get a flag out of it? Right? That was on
I think that might have been done intentionally. I mean,
right.
you underthrow a receiver, and that's what.
So he's got to come back to the ball, and he didn't turn around, and it is what it is.
We've had that call go against us a million times. I do not feel bad for Giant fans.
No,
I
not
do
at
not
all.
feel bad. 1 minute. All I know is this: Giant fans, you have zero excuse to not win that game.
Right.
9 penalties, 85 yards. You guys were about to punt the game away. You get the offsides call. You're going to punt the ball away. You get the call for Quincy Williams with the personal foul, and then you were going to kick a field goal. Jermaine Johnson made a boneheaded mistake and tackles a quarterback who's already on his way to the ground, gives you guys a fresh set of downs, and then you put up 7 after that. So there's no excuses. The Giants
-9,
pretty much
-9 passing yards. How do you
Giants
-9 passing yards?
The Giants pretty much put up 3 points against this defense without that Jermaine Johnson penalty. Think about that.
Right.
Because they were going to settle for the field goal there. The only other points they got was the field goal off of the Zach Wilson fumbled snap turnover. So this defense, when push came to shove, they showed up. If they get rid of the stupid boneheaded mistakes that I feel like they make every single week, is either JFM roughing the passer, Quincy Williams hitting somebody out of bounds or roughing the passer, or just one of our stupid mistakes.
Every week,
unsportsmanlike conduct. I mean,
every week there's one drive. Every week there's one stupid drive that the opposing team scores a touchdown, and the only reason for it is because of stupid penalties down the field. There is one drive like that every single game. But I still am going to be of the opinion, and you guys can let me know in the comments, I think that Zach, for the first time, won the game for us at the end of regulation and in overtime. It's kind of shocking to me that we were even in the position to win the game. I'm shocked that they were able to even spike the ball with a second left.
I know.
I was jumping around my kitchen like a maniac.
Remember the half the other week? We're driving in the half, and we get the ball in the middle of the field, and we didn't get the snap off. I mean,
if
we play the way we did today, next week we're probably getting blown out. So they got to. But here's the thing. Here's what's so great. This is what's so great about the NFL, about football, and about the Jets. We played effing awful today.
Right.
Awful. But we almost beat the Chiefs 3 weeks ago. We beat the Eagles. So the last year, both Super Bowl teams, we beat one of them, and we should have beat the other one if not for a BS call by the officials at the end of the game. So that tells me, hopefully, this was just an awful week. We're slow coming out of the bye like we always are, and we're able to move on. Because next week, if we beat the Chargers, that'd be 4 wins in a row.
Yeah.
When's the last time the Jets won 4 games in a row?
Yeah.
With Zach Wilson at the quarterback, at the helm. That's a positive we could take in. There's a lot of talent on this team. I expect Joe Douglas to be on the phones. I'm not saying he's going to get anybody great. I don't see that happening. But maybe getting another body in here that has NFL experience on the offensive line. I would love for them to add to the wide receiving room, but I honestly don't see that happening. I don't see, I remember a few years ago we had a great GM, the almighty John Izek, who went out and traded for Percy Harvin and gave up a boatload of assets. Do I see that happening? No. And we got to remember, as Jet fans, let's be reasonable here. We don't have a second-round pick in this year's draft, and Joe Douglas knows we're not winning anything this year. I know there's those of you out there that think, Aaron Rodgers is going to come in and save the day. First of all, you're asking Rodgers to come in and have, chemistry with a team in week 17, and now you're telling a quarterback, say week 17 comes along and we're heading to the playoffs, you're going to all of a sudden bench Zach Wilson. He has to be playing well for us to get to the playoffs anyways. So Joe Douglas is not going to go completely all in this year.
And for all those people that wanted Kirk Cousins, he's got an Achilles now.
NFL's got a real issue, real major issue. They got to figure this out. I think it's the turf. You ever run on turf and then run on grass? It's 2 completely different things because, the rubber pellets in the turf. But that's, I'm no turf expert, but the NFL's got a major issue. There's stars dropping left and right, and it's all the same injury. It's a torn meniscus or a torn ACL or a torn Achilles.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
All right, so my last parting stat is Zach Wilson, 1 interception in the last 5 games. That's pretty damn good. At least for him. So I'll take it. Just don't make the stupid throws. Don't make the stupid turnovers. And, we got a good chance of winning the game.
Chargers don't have great DBs. Tell you right now, they don't.
Okay.
They're going to have to throw the ball next week. You want to win, they got to throw the ball.
I hear you. All right, so we got the who we have coming on Wednesday on the Twitter space?
I want to make sure I pronounce his name right. 'Cause I've been botching it all day because there's so much going on. We have on Wednesday, he is a reporter for a news station over in LA. He also covers the Chargers full time on a podcast. Chris Hayre, Hayre. He is the sports anchor for KCAL News, which is a major news station over in Los Angeles. He also has a weekly Chargers podcast. He also covers many sports alumni. I believe he used to cover the Lakers before that, so should be a good get. And then I'm sure we'll have one of the beat writers from the Jets on as well. It's from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Twitter. Same handle, @JetCastPod. If you want to follow us over there, we have spaces once a week. And we also do halftime and postgame show. The postgame was fire tonight. We had well over 750 people come through. It was just a blast. We talk Jets. Good and bad. We have some Jet fans in there that are constantly melting down. Even with the loss, they're still melting down. But hey, we all know in the NFL is a win is a win is a win. We haven't made the playoffs since I was in high school, for crying out loud. I'm 30 years old. I just want to make the playoffs, and then we'll go from there.
So if you guys are diehard Jet fans like Ray and I, please give us a subscribe and give this video a like. It's the best way you can support the channel. We got content coming out every week related to the team, what's coming up, injury reports, things like that. And so hopefully we see you guys next week. I think we're going to do a video just before the Chargers game. We'll do a preview of that game. And let's hope this time next week. Well, no, not this time next week because it's a Monday night game. Let's hope Tuesday morning we're waking up to another Jets win, and we go four in a row here.
Go Jets.
Go Jets.